Warren Buffett, widely regarded as one of the greatest investors of all time, is known for his frugal living habits. He has a net worth of over $100 billion, yet he still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for just $31,500. He drives a modest car, wears simple clothes, and avoids excessive spending on non-essential items. Hello 101 community, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, we talk about Buffett's frugal lifestyle that helped him accumulate wealth over the years, and it can also serve as inspiration for anyone looking to follow in his footsteps. So now, let's look at Warren Buffett's 7 smartest frugal living habits to become wealthy. Number 7. Living below your means. One of the key principles of frugal living is to live below your means, and this is something that Buffett has always practiced. He avoids the temptation to spend money on flashy cars, expensive clothing, or luxurious vacations. Instead, he prioritizes saving and investing his money, which has allowed him to grow his wealth over time. Sticking to a budget and living below your means can help you make the most of your money. The extra funds can be used to build wealth through investments or saved for emergencies. Moreover, it relieves the stress of having to take on debt when income may not be able to cover expenses.
I could buy any house in the world, and I don't want any other house than the one I'm in. And that house is in a middle-class neighborhood. I'm happy in a pair of khakis and a sweater, so I don't need fancy clothes. I don't need fancy food.
Do you have an iPad?
I do not have an iPad.
iPhone?
No.
Number 6. Investing in what you know. Buffett is known for his ability to pick winning investments, and he attributes this success to his strategy of only investing in what he knows. He avoids trying to chase the latest trend or hot stock, and instead focuses on companies that have a proven track record of success. By investing in what you know, you can minimize the risk of losing money and increase the chances of earning a return on your investment. This principle can also be applied to other areas of life, such as choosing a career or making other important financial decisions.
The best moat you can have is your own talent. They can't take it away from you. Inflation can't take it from you. Right. Taxes can't take it from you. So, when I talk to students, I see these students and I tell them, you're $1 million asset. I would pay you $100,000 the MBAs for 10% of the earnings for the rest of your life. So that makes you $1 million asset. Now, if you can do something to increase that value 50%, if you can learn to communicate better verbally or in written form, and you become 50% more, that's $500,000 just by improving yourself. Nobody can take that away from you. And so I urge everybody, when I talk to them in high school about this and colleges, just develop the habits. You've got the brain power, you got the energy, but develop the habits of success and look around you at the people that you admire, and list what makes you admire them compared to somebody else that looks equally strong or equally talented. And those are things that you can do. Just write them down. And people like people that they like them if they're humorous, if they're friendly, if they give credit to the other fellow. And they don't like them if they're stingy, or they overstate and overpromise and all those sort of things. Well, that's a decision you make. So I encourage everybody to build your own moat around yourself.
Number 5. Being mindful of expenses. He is known for being mindful of his expenses, and he encourages others to do the same. This means keeping a track of where your money is going, avoiding unnecessary spending, and finding ways to save money on the things you do not need to buy. For example, instead of eating out at expensive restaurants, Buffett often opts for fast food or home-cooked meals. He also avoids buying expensive clothing, opting instead for simple, practical clothing that serves its purpose. By being mindful of expenses, you can free up more money to put towards savings or investment accounts, which can help you build wealth over time.
The best method, of course, is just to calculate intrinsic business value, but it can't be precise. We know, we think the probability is exceptionally high that 120% understates it. Although if it was all in securities, 120% would be too high. But as the businesses have evolved, as we built in unrecognized value at the operating businesses, unrecognized for accounting purposes, I think it still has some use as being kind of the base figure we use. If it were a private company and 10 of us here owned it, Instead, we just sit down annually and calculate the businesses one by one and use that as a base value. But that gets pretty subjective when you get as many as we do. And so I think the easiest thing is to use the standards we're using now, recognizing the limitations.
Number 4, avoiding debt. He's a firm believer in avoiding debt, and he has often spoken out against taking on unnecessary debt. He believes that debt can quickly spiral out of control and lead to financial instability. Instead, he encourages people to live within their means and only take on debt when it is absolutely necessary. To avoid the financial stress and risk that comes with debt, it's best to opt for alternative approaches. This will give you a chance to save money or invest it for potential wealth building in the future. When done responsibly, debt can be used as a useful tool, but avoiding it altogether is usually more beneficial.
Avoid debt. If you have savings, and it's a good idea to have them if you can have, just buy index funds and just buy them every month, and don't listen to financial advisors like me. Don't read financial pages. I mean, you don't need to do it. I mean, if you buy a farm, you don't get a weather forecast every morning. You don't get a quote on the farm every morning. You look at the farm itself. You say, is this farm going to produce so many bushels an acre of corn or soybeans, and is that satisfactory in relation to what I pay? If you buy a piece of American industry and you get a cross section, you're going to do well over 10 or 20 or 30 years. But you're not going to do it if you try and dance in and out every day.
Number 3, being disciplined with spending. Buffett is known for being disciplined with his spending, and he encourages others to do the same. This means avoiding impulsive purchases, sticking to a budget, and only spending money on essential items. Practicing fiscal discipline is a great way to protect against potential overspending and help make sure that your money is being used in the best possible way. Additionally, it allows you to have more funds available for saving or investing, which can lead to long-term wealth accumulation.
These people had one thing in common. They knew they had it in themselves. They knew they could be something beyond where they were. They were willing to put their time, their energies to better themselves. What you really could do with more skills, it's just remarkable.
Number 2, focusing on long-term goals. Buffett is a long-term thinker, and he encourages others to do the same. This means focusing on long-term goals, such as retirement or building wealth, rather than making short-term purchases that provide immediate gratification. By focusing on long-term goals, you can help ensure that your money is being used effectively and that you are building a strong financial foundation for the future. This can help you avoid the temptation to make impulsive purchases and instead focus on making smart financial decisions that will pay off in the long run.
I've spent my life trying to convince people of investing for the long term. Listen, if I knew how to double my money tomorrow, I'd probably invest for the short term too. It's much easier to invest for the long term if you're just talking pure investment, because you know what's going to, in my view, be very high probability what's going to happen 10 and 20 years from now in a major way, and I don't have the faintest idea what's going to happen tomorrow or next week.
And finally, number 1, being patient. Buffett is known for his patience when it comes to investing, and he encourages others to do the same. He believes in holding on to investments for the long term, rather than trying to time the market or make quick profits. Setting clear and long-term goals can be very helpful in making sure your finances are being managed properly, and that you're laying the groundwork for a stable financial future. This can help you avoid the temptation to make impulsive purchases and instead focus on making smart financial decisions that will pay off in the long run.
In the securities business, you sit there and they throw U.S. Steel at 25 and they throw General Motors at 68, and you don't have to swing at any of them. They may be wonderful pitches to swing at, but if you don't know enough, you don't have to swing. And you can sit there and watch thousands of pitches, and finally you get one right there where you want it, something that you understand, and then you swing. And
so you might not swing for 6 months.
You might not swing for 2 years.
So, 101 community. These Warren Buffett's frugal living habits serve as inspiration for anyone looking to build wealth and live a financially secure life. Making smart financial decisions, such as living within your means, investing wisely, and being conscious of your expenses, can help you maximize the potential of your money and provide a strong financial standing for the future. And with that being said, If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so you will be notified of every update. Also, don't forget to check the links in the video description. Remember, we live in turbulent times. The global economy is upside down, and we have made it our personal goal to deliver financial education to everyone. Watch our video appearing on the screen right now. See you there.